Grab your copies of Cheaper by the Dozen, Wargamers, because today we're talking efficiency. Before we do, I'll just remind you that by the time you watch this video, it will have been 2 weeks since it was recorded. Your humble host is a little bit like Corona-chan in that respect. Also, you'll hear the crickets in the background. Initially, I was a little uncertain about that, but I realized that having crickets going is a perfect little bit of Foley work. It sets the ambiance for when I crack one of my dad jokes. Anyway, before we get to the efficiency, I wanted to show you, I went ahead and I know it's been a couple of weeks since I did painting alone together. We'll be doing that again real soon. But until then, I figured I'm not going to dry brush white all of my figures here. You all know how to dry brush. But I did think that I would show you a few of these now that we've got a little more detail scoped out. These are all alternative army figures. And this one was a freebie that they threw to try and entice me, Gavin, into making the jump from the one true scale to something bigger and bulkier. Now, he is a bit of a beast, but I also will be adding in the near term a new faction. A faction of lizard dudes. There we go. Look at that guy. All right, so he may wind up being kind of a lizard-like, either a like a lizard ogre kind, or perhaps these lizards are like the 40k orcs that as they advance they just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Who knows? Or I don't know, maybe I'll paint it, and if I really like it, I'll give it away to some random viewer. Wouldn't that be nice? Nice little thank you for sticking around. Gotta have some doggos. These guys are gonna be great with what is that game called? Rogue Planet, where your guys have essentially hit point figures that move along with them and give them special abilities. I got a nice little pack of 3 of those. We've got, look at these fun little sculpts. Look at that guy. Nice little sluggo. I got 3 of those. And then I wanted to show you a couple of the really fun little figures that Alternative Army has. These are the specials. You can tell that my space station is going to be an American station, because if I can get my camera to focus on this guy, he is a bit of a helper droid. Come on. Oh, you had it, camera. Come on, give it to me. There we go. And if you see the little HB, he's a waiter, and HB stands for Happy Burger. So we're going to be making some burgers. We have a nice, boy, look at this total witch. But not just any witch. This is kind of a sci-fi witch. Is that a broom, or is that some kind of a weapon? Or is it some kind of both? Got a nice little vending machine. Look at that. Where do you get... So this is going to go in Tortugastra. I have a couple of the dumb vending machines, but he'll wander around harassing people saying, would you like a soda? And yeah, a whole bunch of other fun ones that we'll get to as we get back into the Painting Alone Together series. But until then, let's take a look at my storage solution for the one true scale of Wargaming miniatures. And I wanted to show you this because it's a great illustration of why bigger isn't always better. And I figured what could be more efficient than showing you guys a whole bunch of different things in one video. What we're looking at here are 2 tackle boxes, both by Plano. They are in 2 different sizes, and if I set these side by side, you'll see small and large. And in fact, this small one is half the size of this one, and yet this small one can fit twice as many miniatures. Turns out, bigger isn't always better. So I like this style of case because it includes plenty of room up top for things like vehicles, specific terrain pieces. Then you open the clasps and you've got a couple of these storage cases. The big one is a little taller. This might be suitable for larger miniatures. But again, you're not going to fit a whole lot in there. Let me set that aside for a moment, and we'll take a look at this one. Now, I've got two of these. The greenish one that I own is for my science fiction figures, and it's got the same situation. Plenty of room up top for larger miniatures, or for vehicles if you have any, unusual terrain pieces. But with this smaller one, when you open the front door, you actually get 4 of these storage cases contained within. And if I pull out, I can show you, right? You see how much larger that is? You wind up getting a whole lot more space. Almost a fifth one of these tucked into the same amount of room. Now these Plano cases are great because they're sturdy. Once you lock it down, you can fill this whole thing up with miniatures, and you can still carry it with the handle. How many miniatures can you fit? Well, let's do a quick count here. There are about 10 to 12 of these prang in there, and I'm actually adding to my prang collection with the unpainted figures I just showed you. Let me pop these guys out. So first, here is the Prang Ambassador. Nice trench coat, nice sidearm. And I got to remember, because he's going to be painted in the same color scheme as the rest of these Prang. That's a fun figure. I like those guys. Nice and chunky, nice and alien, nice and intimidating. Anyway, getting back to the efficiency. Let's go ahead and take a quick count, shall we? The Prang up there in the corner, I've got 12 of them in there right now, and I could probably fit another 3 or 4. Let's call it 15 in this upper side. Well, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 60. Call it another 12 here, another 12 here. You're up to 85. And then in the front here, you can see it's a little shorter. But if you assume you fit, call it 80 just in this one, I've got 4 of them. I could fit 320 figures in here, and that's just in the drawers. And that doesn't include my little shorties. Now, I could pull some of these out. These are Ground Zero Games figures. And if you buy their little droids, you can get this little R2 unit. Oh, it's not an R2 unit. It's just different enough. You can get a trash compactor bot. You get 2 of each. And then, unfortunately, if you want to be authentic and true to the source material, the package only gives you Huey and Dewey. You're going to have to get 2 packs if you want to have your Louie included. But those guys are nice and short. They fit in here. And I got a couple of other little oddballs, little drones, little cute little rocket bots from a really obscure line whose name escapes me at the moment. At any rate, anywhere from 350 to 400 miniatures in there alone. Not even including what I've done to kind of expand my reach. Oh yeah, I got a nice little gas template here. I got a flamer template, just in case you forget what it is. I wrote it in there. And I think I have I got the little boom too. That's pretty good for grenades. I was playing around with a miniature version of Necromunda for a long time. We'll talk more about that later. It's called Pocket Munda. But in order to expand my storage, I have a couple more of these. So what you're looking at here are a whole bunch of squats. Nice and tiny little boys. Look at that guy. So if you had 4 of these, you're easily getting up into the 500 miniatures in this tiny little Plano box. Because we mix scales here fairly readily, you got to do things a little bit different. This is a 10mm Pendraken figure. and it looks a little bit like an alien from a movie. Let me grab a hero figure here. So there's your alien in 10 millimeter with a black and white figure that I haven't had a chance to paint yet, but it shows how well they scale. That is suitable for if you wanted to do some Warhammer 40k in 15 millimeters. These xenomorphs would be fantastic for you know who. And they come in a variety of sizes. You get a couple of packs there, so we got some little biters and some bigger ones. And I think there's even a queen or two in here. Yeah, there's the blighter. There's the queen. See, she's got a nice big frill there on the top of her head. We'll get you. There we go, finally. So she's about yay big. There's one of our little guys. So 3 different sizes. And of course I painted him green just because it's a little more fun than the pure black xenomorphs, as I was saying. And then, oh, you know what? I might as well show you these guys too. They also make a, call it an alien bounty hunter figure. Again, this is from the 10 millimeter line of Pendraken. They are, if I ever decide to use these guys with my 15s, they'll be, you call them Hobbit bounty hunters, maybe. They're really cool. So I painted them orange because I was doing a desert planet, which has long since gone defunct, that particular project. But this should give you an idea how sometimes less is more, even when it comes to miniature wargaming. And that may be something to consider as we move forward in an increasingly complicated world. If you are in a dorm room and you don't have a lot of space, or if you are transitory, again, in a dorm room where you have to move in and out every 6 to 8 months, this is a great option. This is a great way to limit the amount of space that your hobby takes up and still have all the fun that the guys have with the 28 millimeter figures. Again, it's a Plano. I think this is like a $17 case, and both of the cases are about $17 to $20. But if you're gaming at 15 millimeter, this is the one I recommend. And remember, even if you have plenty of space, every dollar that you spend on storage is a dollar less you're spending on rules and miniatures. So don't be afraid to step back, go a little smaller. Efficiency is your friend. It's a little cheaper, and I know things are rough out there for a lot of people right now. This is a viable alternative. Don't be afraid to step away from the ordinary and do something a little different. Like I said, I know it's tough, and although there's not a whole lot I can do for you, I can share this hobby, and rest assured that you are all in my prayers. So go forth, be efficient, have a great time, take care of each other, and may the good Lord bless and keep you.